Hey everybody, I'm going to break down all the things that are going to help you lose 20 pounds without adding more work to your life, right? Because at the end of the day, you guys are all very, very busy women and you have a lot of things to do and you don't want to sacrifice your time in order to achieve your weight loss goals, right? By the end of this, I'm going to show you how you can burn up to 600 calories more per day without adding more exercise and without restricting your diet. Okay, how you're going to burn more calories. And the truth is, if you burn more calories, you're going to lose weight, right? And so I'm going to break down the whole process for you today and show you exactly what you need to do. So let's get right into this. Okay. All right. So lose 20 pounds without starving yourself or exercising more. Okay. So at the end of the day, to lose weight, we need to burn more calories than we consume, right? That has to happen. So if you burn 2,000 calories and you consume 1,600 calories, you're going to lose weight. That is a fact, okay? With that said, it's complicated to know how many calories that you're burning, right? And so this is how we burn calories. This is the average American. The average American, their metabolism makes up 70% of the calories that they burn. And when I'm talking about metabolism, I'm talking about their resting metabolism. So like if you were just to lay in bed all day, you would burn this many calories. That's your BMR, your basal metabolic rate, or you can think about it as your resting metabolism. Okay. The next category is non-exercise activity. And this is basically like the things that you're doing in your day, fidgeting, walking, moving around, right? Typing, things like that. The third category is thermic effective food, which is basically the calories that it takes to digest the food that you eat. It actually takes your body energy to digest the food that you eat, right? We have to break it down, and that takes energy to do. Okay. And then the last category is exercise. Okay. And so what makes up these? Well, your BMR, your metabolism is determined by your age, your sex, your hormones, your lean body mass, basically like the amount of muscle mass you have, your genetics, stress, if you're pregnant or not, and your body temperature, right? So the thing that we can mostly do to help that is improve your lean body mass, improve the muscle mass you have, and make sure your hormones are functioning well. Okay. From exercise, and I will talk. We're going to get deeper into this, but from a non-exercise activity, this includes your day job, fidgeting, time standing, right, and your genetics. Those all make up kind of your non-exercise activity. From the thermic effective food, the things that have effects there are like how processed is your food and what are the macronutrients. Those all have a different amount of energy that they take to break down, right? If it's a super processed food, your body will break it down easily, right? Like if it's already broken down for you, right? Your body doesn't have to do all the work. And then the different macronutrients, proteins, carbs, and fats all have a different amount of energy it takes to break them down, okay? And then lastly is exercise, and the things that determine that are what's the intensity of the exercise, what's the duration of it, how much body mass are you moving through the exercise, right? If you weigh more, it takes more energy to move yourself, right? And then the type of exercise you're doing, okay? So let's talk about your resting metabolism. 70% of your entire energy spend comes from your resting metabolism. And so what makes that up? Well, it takes our body 6 calories per pound of muscle mass to just live and maintain that muscle mass, right? So for every pound of muscle mass you have, you're going to burn 6 calories to maintain it every day. For pounds of fat, it's going to take 2 calories, right? Now, those are the two main things that we can make adjustments to, right? That we actually have control over. The other ones are your liver, which takes calories to maintain, right? 90 calories per pound of liver, 100 calories per pound of brain tissue, and 200 calories per pound of your heart. You can't change those things, right? Mostly, right? You can a little bit, but mostly you can't, right? And so we have control over the amount of muscle mass we have and the amount of fat that we have. And obviously, the more muscle mass we have, the more that we can raise this number because it takes way more energy to maintain, right? So the best way to increase and optimize your basal metabolic rate and your resting metabolism is increasing muscle mass. The other interesting fact, even though exercise has its own category here, is that people who exercise actually have a higher basal metabolic rate. They get those 10% of calories from exercise, but they also raise the amount of calories that their body burns in a resting state. That's a really cool fact about exercise. It's not just about the calories that you burn. When you exercise, you're actually burning calories for the rest of your day as well, if you do the right kind of exercise, right? So that is kind of basics of your BMR. There's not a whole lot you can do there except for strength training, resistance training, and some corrections to your hormones. Now, that's not the main thing that we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the other three and how we can maximize those, and how the other things play into each other, right? Okay, so next, the thermic effect of feeding. We're going to jump a level here, right? We're going to that little yellow bar. Most people assume that it takes about 10% of the calories that you consume to digest the food that you eat, right? So if I eat 2,000 calories, it would take about 200 calories for my body to actually break down that food, right? However, that is for a low quality standard American diet. And the thermic effect of food, we're going to call it TEF here, can change by a ton from depending on a few different things, okay? Number one is the macronutrients, right? Protein takes about 20 to 30% of the energy that you consume to break it down. So if I consume 100 calories of protein, it's going to take 20 to 30 calories to break that protein down and actually digest it. Carbs are 5 to 10%, and there's a big range there depending on the quality of the carbohydrates, and then fats are 0 to 3%. So the obvious first step is increase your protein intake, and that's going to increase the amount of energy that your body spends, right, to break down food, which is a good thing if you're trying to be in a calorie deficit and lose weight. Okay. The second thing to consider is fiber, which is considered a carbohydrate, has a much higher thermic effect of food, TEF, than lower quality carbohydrates. And so if you're eating really good carbs that have high fiber, you're going to actually burn more calories breaking those carbohydrates down. Versus if you're having low quality carbohydrates like a Pop-Tart or something of that matter, right? So step number 2 is increase your fiber, because that's gonna bolster the amount of calories that you burn to break down food as well. And then lastly, another benefit of exercise is that exercise has been shown in some recent research to increase the amount of energy it takes to break down your food. So when you exercise, you actually spend more energy breaking down your food, right? Triple whammy now, right? And so if we increase our fiber intake, we increase our protein intake, and we exercise regularly, we can increase our thermic effect of food from 10% to 25%. Okay? That's a huge difference. From someone eating 2,000 calories a day, that is 200 calories a day breaking down food versus 500 calories a day breaking down food. And that 300 calories could be all that you possibly need in order to lose weight, right? We just need a small calorie deficit in order to consistently lose weight over time. And so really, if we just increased the quality of the food we ate more protein, we ate more fiber, and we exercised, I mean, we're doing a lot of good work there to burn more calories and lose weight, okay? So that's the thermic effect of food. Now we're going to hop into non-exercise activity, okay? So exercise and metabolism. The two main factors that, first of all, exercise is not all the same, right? You need to be doing the exercise that's going to actually support your goals and support your metabolism here, right? And so the two main factors that it relates to metabolism is the energy that you burn during the exercise, number one, and the second factor is the things that happen as a result of the exercise that you do, okay? And so let's talk about cardio first, okay? When you do cardio, let's say fast walking at 4 miles per hour, you burn about 1 calorie per kilogram of body weight per minute that you walk. So let's break that down. For a 150-pound woman, they weigh, you're at 68 kilograms, right? We're using kilograms here as the equation. 150-pound woman is 68 kilograms. And if she walks for 4 miles per hour for 10 minutes, she ends up burning 68 calories, right? We have 0.1 times, which is the calories, times her body weight in kilograms is how many calories that she would do per minute, and then times 10 minutes. So 6.8 calories per minute times 10 minutes, 68 calories. However, if you walk at just 1 mile an hour faster, and you increase the calorie output by about 30%. So you can go from 68 calories in 10 minutes to 88 calories in 10 minutes. And that's just 10 minutes of walking, right? You extrapolate that over doing that several days or weeks in a row, and that makes a huge difference as well, right? And then to increase that even further, if we run twice as fast, right? So which isn't that crazy to think, right? We're going to run twice as fast as we walk. We actually increase the calorie output from 0.1 calories per minute to 0.28. And so in the same time, in 10 minutes, you would burn 190 calories in 10 minutes of running. right? All cool stuff, right? That is burning calories during the exercise. Resistance training. So the thing is, like, cardio has these benefits for burning calories during exercise. It's not nearly as good as resistance training for burning calories long term. So resistance training will burn less calories during the exercise while you're actually doing it, but it will stimulate muscle growth, which we talked about is super important for increasing your basal metabolism, your resting metabolism, which makes up 70% of the calories that you burn, right? And each pound of muscle costs you 6 calories per day. And muscle growth is also a very demanding process. So as we're building muscle tissue, your body spends a lot of energy to produce that and to make it and to add muscle. And you don't add muscle when you're doing cardio, right? So we want to be adding muscle mass in order to long-term burn more calories naturally without having to work for it, because cardio is a lot of work, right? And so, and on top of that, doing intense cardio will actually block the pathway that it takes to build muscle. So we want to make sure that we are primarily doing our exercise as resistance training and then also doing some low intensity cardio as well. But the primary exercise that you should be doing to strengthen your metabolism is resistance training, is lifting weights, is doing band stuff, is doing exercises that are going to cause muscle damage, right? Or are challenging to our muscles and not our aerobic system. That's not to say that cardio isn't important to our health. It's super important to the health of your lungs, the health of your heart, right? Our cardiovascular system as a whole, all that's important. But for weight loss, resistance training is king, okay? Oops. So that is, that's exercise, right? Sorry, I skipped, guys. We went from here, and I said we're going to talk about non-exercise, but we actually talked about exercise there, right? So that was exercise and metabolism. Now, let's talk about the last category, which is non-exercise activity. You can think about NEAT as non-exercise activity. And this is all the calories that we burn from movement that is not intentional exercising. It's walking, it's fidgeting, it's cooking, typing, standing, gardening, all those things, right? And there's a huge variation in people in terms of how much of a percentage of their daily calorie spend that this makes up, 15 to 50%. And some people are closer to 10%. So it can be a big difference depending on how much we move throughout our day, right? And so a lot of it depends on your occupation. What you do for work makes a big impact, right? And so for an 8-hour period of time, if you're sitting for 8 hours, you're going to burn about 280 calories, just for your body to function and stay alive, right? If you are seated with the ability to stand and move around a little bit, 650 calories. That's a huge difference in an 8-hour period. If you stand the whole time, if you're standing, 860 calories. And if we're doing strenuous work like construction, things like that, 2,250 calories, right? Big difference here, especially considering to lose a pound of fat, you need to burn about 3,000 calories, right? So if you look at the difference there over a week between sitting and even just standing, that's about a pound a week. And all you need to do is get a standing desk, right? And stand up a little bit more, walk around, take a break and walk for 5 minutes, right? Walking at 1 mile per hour will burn double the energy that you would spend. So get a desk treadmill if you can. If you can walk it, in 1 mile an hour is crazy slow. Like, it's barely moving, but you will spend double the energy of just standing and not moving, right? So that is how your occupation makes a difference. Now, here's how undereating makes a difference. Studies have been shown that when you undereat, you actually reduce your NEAT by 15 to 27%. Big difference there. And so if we are eating less only just to move our bodies more, we're going to end up net zero and not make a change. And so we end up restricting ourselves, and it's not doing us any help, right? We're still stuck. We're still not losing weight. And it's because subconsciously you're actually moving your body less. You're fidgeting less. You're standing less. And it's a subconscious thing. We're not bringing consciousness to this. It's just what your body does to preserve energy, because our bodies are super smart and want to stay alive. And they don't want to lose weight, right? Like, it's not good evolutionarily for our body to lose weight, right? And so subconsciously your body's trying to preserve energy. So you do all these things to conserve it. And so undereating actually it makes it really hard to lose weight if you are undereating by too much. Okay. Now let's look at a little kind of representation of like what this could look like and how you can put this into action. Okay. So these are two twins who have the exact same metabolism, right? The exact same BMR. If we go back to BMR here, right, it's 70, it's the bottom big block here, your metabolism, right? Your resting metabolism. So these people they're twins. They have the exact same BMR. Now, they're both going to do the exact same exercise as well. They're going to exercise for 3 hours a week. They're going to lift weights. They're going to do the same thing, okay? Now, twin number 1 is going to eat 2,000 calories per day. I actually think it's going to be 2,200. I need to change that number. Of whole foods. It's going to be high fiber, high protein, okay? The second twin is going to eat the exact same number of calories, but they're going to eat processed foods. They're going to eat Burger King and donuts and Pop-Tarts and energy bars and things like that. Twin number 1 is going to have a much higher thermic effect of food, right? We talked about that earlier, okay? Twin number 1 is also going to take the stairs. I'm going to hide this so you guys can see this, but they're going to take the stairs. They're going to stand frequently, and they're going to do house cleaning work. Twin number 2 is going to take the elevator, sit all day, and watch Netflix when they get home from work. Twin number 1 is going to have a much higher NEAT than twin number 2, right? They're going to spend way more energy in their day. And so if we look at the difference between this, if they're 150 pounds, they both eat, I meant to be 2,200, right? They both eat 2,200 calories. Their metabolism is the same, 1,400, and they exercise and they burn 175 calories. The same for both people, right? They're doing the same exercise. They're exercising. Their metabolism is working pretty decently, and they eat the same amount of calories, and they weigh the same. But twin number 1 boosted their thermic effect of food to 25%, and their NEAT to 700 calories. And twin number 1 is at 10%, like a standard American, and their NEAT is only 300 calories because they sit all day. And the difference between this is about 700 calories of energy spent throughout the day. Twin number 1 consumed 2,200 and burned 2,825, and they put themselves in the calorie deficit of 625. They're going to lose weight. They're going to lose weight really well. And twin number 2 is in a calorie surplus of 105 calories in the same exact scenario. And the truth is, they're going to look at each other and be like, well, I'm eating the same amount. I'm exercising the same amount as you. I'm the same weight. What am I doing wrong? Why am I stuck? I cannot figure this out. And the truth is that we don't have a high quality diet that has a strong thermic effect, and we don't have enough movement in our day because we just didn't move around. We didn't intentionally do it, right? We didn't stand at our desk. We didn't take the elevator. We didn't do the basic things, right? And so in summary, you want to eat a high protein diet, a high fiber diet. You want to lift weights 3 times a week. You want to go for walks. You want to take the stairs. You want to stand at your desk, and you don't want to starve yourself. That is the key takeaway in order to burn 700 more calories per day and finally have the success that you're looking for. And it'll allow you to eat more food and enjoy more time with your friends and do all these things that you'll have more energy, right? Like all of this amazing stuff is happening by increasing the quality of our food and by intentionally moving our body a little bit more, okay? And so this is how we can help you. This is how we can help you implement this. You can take our free metabolism audit and identify the number one thing that's holding you back from losing 20 pounds. Okay, our audit is gonna ask you a bunch of questions in regards to where your metabolism is at, where your movement's at, where the quality of your food is at, and we're gonna help you identify what the things that you can do to change to start having the success you're looking for. Because there are so many people out there that are really, really struggling to lose weight, and they feel like they're doing everything right, and it's just not coming off. And so that is where our metabolism assessment, our metabolism audit can really help you. It can help you identify like what's the one thing for me to focus on to finally make a change that I'm looking for. Okay, so I'm happy to send that to anyone. All you have to do is comment below audit on this video, and I will send it to you. And I hope this training was really helpful for you guys. I hope you guys understand why it's so important to increase our fiber, increase our protein, get some movement in throughout our day. Why exercise is so critical to our success, right? And really understand that like, it's not about how much you restrict yourself if you want to lose weight. It is about creating these small little changes that will cause your body to spend more energy just to stay alive. And it makes it so much easier to maintain your weight loss and sustain weight loss if you do it that way, because you don't have to restrict yourself for the rest of your life. You can enjoy more food and you can enjoy some freedom. Okay. And really, it's going to get you your confidence back and help get you feeling yourself again. So comment audit on this video. I'm happy to send that over completely free, and we'll get that to you and hopefully get you the results that you're looking for. All right. I'll see you guys in the next one. Let me know if you have any questions on the things I just mentioned in here. I'm happy to answer any questions you guys got and support you in any way I can. Catch you guys on the flip side.